Hey everyone, Forever Chi here, back again with another video. I just want to do an updated eyeshadow palette collection. The last time I did this was end of 2019, I believe. I've gotten rid of some palettes, added some palettes, so I just wanted to show y'all. So here's an overview of what I'm working with. These are a majority of my palettes. Some of them may look familiar. Some of them, y'all probably saw my old video, but I have added some new palettes, and these are all of them. These are just the ones that could fit in this container. So without further ado, let's get into this collection. Okay, y'all, I'm just gonna be grabbing my palettes one by one. I'm not putting them in any particular order or anything like that. I think it's easier for me to go through the ones that are not in the container first, so we're gonna do that. So the first palettes I have are my MORPHE 35 A and B. Oh, I said 35. 25 A and B right here. These are the very, very, very old packaging, but these palettes are still great. I don't really use them too often now, but I can always rely on them. As you can see, I got some cracked shadows in each one. So they are kind of fragile, but overall, these are some great eyeshadow palettes. So I'm pretty sure even in the new packaging, they're still amazing. So if you're looking for just a brown neutral palette, these are really, really good. And yeah, they're from Morphe. I have this MAC Burgundy ×9 palette. I haven't used it. I don't really plan to use it. Maybe in the fall. We'll see. I might keep it and use it this fall because burgundies are a fall color. So yeah, we'll see. But this one's from MAC. And yes, a Burgundy ×9 palette. The formula for MAC shadows are, you know, is still really good. I just personally just haven't used that palette. I have these two LA Colors palettes. I got these from Dollar Tree. They are cute and small, so like if I'm traveling and I want just a little basic palette, I can count on these two right here. Yeah, we're going through this kind of fast, y'all. It's not that deep, you know. Then I have the Profusion Nudes palette. If you can see, there's a theme going on. I love my neutral nude palettes because that's usually what I wear in my eyes. Even though right now I have on the green, it's still like not like a loud green. I typically go for like nudish shades. This is a great palette. Profusion makes awesome eyeshadows. This one was $5 from Walmart, and they have so many different you know, shades and colorways. The one I do want to get is the green one. I think it's called Emerald. It's beautiful, so yeah, I love this palette. Yeah, I still have my Urban Decay Born to Run palette. You can see her right there. This is like good color for me. It's like muted bright colors, if that makes sense, like wearable shades. So I really like that. The quality of these shadows is very, very nice. This is my only Urban Decay palette. If you want to start out with an Urban Decay palette and you haven't picked up any of like the Naked series, I would definitely try out this one. And the packaging is just so adorable. It makes me want to travel, so yeah. Then I have the JUVIA'S Masquerade Mini. Beautiful palette, beautiful formula. What I love the most about this palette is that the top two rows are colorful and then your bottom two are neutral. So this, in my opinion, is like an all-in-one type of palette. If I want to be basic and neutral, which I am most of the time, I can just use these two rows down here, which I typically do use. Or if I'm feeling a little bit more vibrant and bold, I can try these top two. So I have tried a lot of the shades in this palette. It's a really nice size. The shades are beautiful and very pigmented. You can never go wrong with JUVIA'S eyeshadows, to be honest. So yeah, Masquerade Mini. So those are all the ones outside of this container. Now we're getting to inside the container. There's no reason like why they're outside versus inside. It was just as many as I could fit in here is what I put in here. So this one's more so towards the front because this is what I used today. This is the JUVIA'S Nubian 2 palette, which is absolutely gorgeous. Mine is completely beat up, but I used that green today, and baby, can you see her? Can you see her? She is giving, okay? She is absolutely giving, and she was the main reason why I wanted this palette in the first place. I do want to go in and do the same thing with like the blue maybe next, or maybe the orange, but overall this is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. Like, it gives color, but it still gives neutral in a way. I would more so see this as a fall palette. It's just absolutely beautiful, big size pan, so it's like, I don't know if I will ever go through this eyeshadow palette, but we're gonna try. The shades in this are just amazing, very pigmented. I love this. This is probably my favorite Juvia's Place palette, to be honest. Yeah, yep, I said it. It is. Then I have the NARS Ignited palette. This is my only NARS palette now. Yeah. I had the NARS Skin Deep and maybe one other one. I don't know. But yeah, this is the one I kept. I just like that it's small enough for me to travel with. I like that it has so many different formulas in it. Like, it has the mattes, the shimmers, the metallics. It's just a beautiful palette, and it's so small, y'all. Like, it's the size of like a phone. So cute. So compact. So I really do like this palette, and the shades in it are very wearable as well. It's more so like on the pinky purpley side mixed with neutrals, so I really like that. This is my second favorite Juvia's Place palette. This is the Nubian by Juvia's Place. So this is the Nubian by Juvia's Place, and it's absolutely stunning. Mine is beat up because this is like my everyday palette. It's so beat up, but the colors in here are amazing. If I need one palette to just take on the go anywhere, like I'm traveling with friends or something, I can always rely on this palette because the quality is amazing, the shades are amazing, and yeah, it's a nice size. And it also comes in like a mini size with like 6 shades, which is adorable. I don't have that one, but I'm fine with this one. I most recently got this Celestial Thunder by Dominique Cosmetics. I do love Dominique Cosmetics palettes. I've been seeing this for years. I have, but I don't know, like, I was just like, let me finally get it, because especially like the pinks and the like the burnt orangey type shades are what's really calling me in this palette. So I was like, let me get it and test it out. So yeah, I haven't touched it yet, but I plan on using it very soon. But I already know about Dominique Cosmetics formula, so I'm not, you know, skeptical or anything. Nice compact size. And most recently, like the palettes I've been purchasing, I've been trying to dabble into some color, so that's why you'll see a little bit more color here and there. Speaking of color, here's another one. This is the NORVINA Mini Pro Pigment Palette Volume 2. I haven't really used this one yet either, but here it is. Here are the shades. Very vibrant, very summery. That's why I got it. And it's small and compact as well, so you know you can take it with you on the go. Next is the ColourPop Sandstone. I'm still about this one. It's really pretty. It's a really pretty palette. It's just that it has so many shimmers in it. Personally, I'm more so like of a matte girl, so it's just a personal preference. But the palette itself is beautiful. The shades work, you know, amazingly and everything like that. It's just personally, I would prefer to have more mattes in this palette. Like I have 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes in here, and everything else is like shimmers and metallics. So I'm just like, y'all could have given me a little bit more mattes, but it's okay. It's a nice palette though, altogether. Then I have the UOMA Beauty Black Magic palette. I bought this one secondhand, and I didn't even realize that when I bought it, someone had already switched out some of the shades. So I literally have like 3 of the same shades down here, but it's okay because they're all like neutral shades that I would use on a day-to-day basis anyway. So I'm just keeping it for myself. I love the pop of blue in this palette. The gold in here is beautiful as well. I don't know if y'all can really see everything in there, but it's a beautiful palette. UOMA Beauty Black Magic, and the formula is amazing as well. I'm gonna try to like do more like eyeshadow palette based videos, like testing out this palette and that palette versus just doing a full look and stuff like that. Next is the palette that I have been wanting for a long time. Of course, it's a neutral palette, but it's the Born This Way Natural Nudes by Too Faced palette. So beautiful, absolutely stunning. Look at it. It's so beautiful, y'all. It is so beautiful, and the formula is amazing. This is my first Too Faced palette. I don't have any of the gingerbreads, none of that. This is my first Too Faced palette, and I love it. I love how slim it is. I can just easily like throw it in a purse or something if I needed to, stuff like that. And yeah, I just altogether I love the Born This Way line. So this palette, you know, was a no-brainer. But yeah, I absolutely love this, and I'm so glad that I have it as my first Too Faced palette, and it made me want to explore more of Too Faced eyeshadow palettes. Next, okay. Oh, I didn't even explain. So I ended up buying the Born This Way palette because I ended up selling a couple of my ABH palettes. I sold my Soft Glam palette, and I even got the Sultry palette, and I got rid of them. I don't know. Personally, the ABH formula is not my favorite because it's a bit powdery. I know a lot of people like that, but personally, me being like more so like beginner stage, I don't like that much pigment to come out at one time, if that makes sense. Yeah, so, and I just wasn't reaching for those palettes as much as I could, but I did keep a couple of ABH collab palettes, so that's what I'm about to show you. So number one, I got the AMREZY palette from ABH, and it's just absolutely beautiful. This is my type of palette when it comes to trying to do color but still keeping it neutral. I feel like it's a healthy balance in this palette, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I've used it. The formula, like I said, it's like your traditional ABH formula, but it's still beautiful. It's still amazing. When I take my time and stuff, I'm able to do it correctly. And then as far as my other ABH palette, I still keep this one in the box. The AINA palette. Everyone knows this one. I would open it, but it's taking me a little minute to get her open because I haven't really used her. So yeah, AINA palette. We all know what she looked like anyway, so yeah, I had to keep those. So those are the only two ABH palettes I have. Colored Rain is one of my favorite. Not even one of. Colored Rain is my favorite eyeshadow palette formula. I remember the first time I used their formula, and it was on Christmas of 2019. Yes, Christmas of 2019. I put that eyeshadow on my eye, and I was like, whoa, you know. And it wasn't with this palette, it was with another palette that I'm going to show soon. But this is a Juicy Boost palette, and like I said, I'm trying to get more into those summery type shades. So I decided to go with this one with a formula that I know I can trust. But mine, I gotta be extra careful with because I've already almost lost a shadow. These, what's it called, shadows? These like metallic ones on the side are very fragile. I almost lost that gold one and almost lost the pink one as well. But for the but everything else is matte. So this is my type of like rainbow palette. Majority mattes and a little bit of shimmer. That's how I like my palettes. So yeah. Juicy Boost, I love it, don't regret it. I love Colored Rain's formula. If you have not tried Colored Rain, try them ASAP. They are amazing. And yeah, I plan on doing like more looks with this palette, especially this summer. I really want to dabble into color. So this is my OG Colored Rain palette. It's the Queen of Hearts. Amazingly beautiful palette. Y'all see her, y'all know her. I got this, like I had this and I had the ABH Modern Renaissance palettes at the same time, and I ended up getting rid of the Modern Renaissance because I felt like the color stories are pretty similar, and I just love the quality of this palette so much more. So yes, this is the palette I was referring to when I said I used an ABH palette for Christmas. So Christmas 2019, I used this palette. And these shimmers are shimmering, okay? Like one swatch and you're good to go. The mattes are so creamy, so blendable. Like the formula is crazy, okay? If I had to like choose one palette to like get a backup of, it would definitely be this palette. It looks so like basic and stuff, but the formula, like, it speaks for itself in all honesty. So yeah, I need to go ahead and use this a little bit more, dabble into these purples and stuff. So y'all will be seeing her soon. So this is the only Revolution palette I have. This is the Revolution Reloaded Neutrals 2. I love this one because I can use it for multiple things. So I use it as an eyeshadow, of course, but I also use it as a blush and a highlighter too. It's just a very versatile palette. The quality is amazing and it's just perfect. And this is like the type of palette I'll take with me, because literally it's like maybe $4 to $6. So if I'm traveling or something, I will feel comfortable taking this with me, because if it breaks, I can easily get another one. But none of my, oh, well, did that? Y'all witnessed it live. I cracked one of my shadows. I'm about to say none of my shadows cracked on me, but it just cracked on me. So yeah, I'm gonna try to press her back in, but she might be a goner. I was just like, you see, this eyeshadow palette, I'm sorry, but this eyeshadow palette is like men. As soon as you start bragging about them, they start acting up. This eyeshadow literally just had to crack while I was explaining it to y'all, but it's all good. It's all good. I think I need to just come up with a better system of setting my eyeshadows, because this is my second one that's kind of like done that recently, and I think it's because I'm sitting them up on their side. So I'm gonna come up with a better system. Okay, so here are the remainder of the palettes. So the first one I have here is the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. This is a beautiful palette. At first I was hesitant. I was just like, is Huda Beauty palettes like really all that, this and that? But this really just gave me hope. I love the formulation of it. I love the shades included in it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I love, like, it's really like a warm tone palette with like purples and reddish and orangey type shades, but we do have a few neutral shades as well. And overall, the formulation is just very, very nice and smooth, and a little bit goes a long way, and it doesn't have a lot of kick up, which I appreciate. I think that's my biggest thing. I really hate kick up in eyeshadow palettes. I feel like I'm being wasteful, if that makes sense. But this palette is absolutely stunning. I've used it a couple of times. I really need to use it a lot more. But yeah, if you were, you know, thinking about it, if you see it on sale or anything, definitely get the palette. I have thought about getting like the retrograde or even like her mini 9 shadow palettes. And maybe we'll see, but right now I have way too many palettes to be trying to get any more. Like I said, I'm not a stranger to Dominique Cosmetics. So this is the Berries and Cream palette. And each time I look at this palette, I just want to go crazy because it's so beautiful. Here it is. So, and I love the shade names, but like just the shades in general, they're just so pretty, y'all. So pretty. Like even the white shade isn't even really like a stark white. It's like a almost pinky-ish type white. And the names of these are just so cute. So we have like cherry juice, blueberry muffin, cranberry, blackberry, honey dip, sweet cream, toasted, bittersweet, chocolate mousse. So it definitely is like berries and cream. Like it fit the theme perfectly. And the shades in here are amazing. They're so beautiful, and they also don't give a lot of kick up, but they do give a lot of pigment. So y'all know me, I love that and I appreciate that, and I could never get rid of this palette. Like sometimes I think, oh, should I declutter it because I don't touch it as much as I should, but I could never get rid of this palette, and I could never get rid of this palette. This palette and this palette, they are going to be with me forever. If I declutter all my other palettes, I know I'll at least keep these two for sure. Like the quality of these are amazing, and I have all the shades I really need with those two palettes. Next, I have the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette. When I got this palette, I was kind of like, well, I don't really need the sultry palette anymore because it's cool toned, you know. I'm not that big on cool tones. I have not used this palette. I plan on using it like this fall, but the shades in it are absolutely beautiful. But yes, they are on the cooler side of the spectrum. I do not have any other cool tone palettes, so I was like, this one will be really nice to test out. It's just very beautiful, definitely, like I said, cool tone, but I'm excited to use her. So yes, Stone Cold from ColourPop. So we're down to our last two. This is the JACKLYN Hill MORPHE collab. This is the first one, and I absolutely love this palette. I'll never get rid of it. It's the perfect mixture of like neutrals plus color. You know what I'm saying? Like, we low-key have a rainbow, but it's not all the way there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so beautiful. We have our blues, our greens, purples down here. We have this beautiful like orangey, golden, yellow type shade that I absolutely love for like all over the lid for the summertime. This reddish orangey color. This is just a great like year-round palette in my opinion. You can go from fall to summer to spring to winter, all in this one palette. So I can absolutely appreciate this palette. Don't plan on ever getting rid of that one. And then last but not least, we have our Sephora Pro palette. I really do like this palette. I don't use it too often. It's a very heavy duty palette. I wouldn't try to travel with it. It's more so a palette that I would like stick to at home. But the case is like very heavy duty. I feel like this is what Morphe should have really been going for if they wanted us to like keep their palettes as long as they did, because I ended up like decluttering all of my palettes from Morphe that were in that plastic container and now I'm just buying the ones that are in like cardboard because their plastic containers just don't last for me. But here's this palette. I love it. For one, it has a huge mirror up here, and then here are the shadows. I don't want to blind y'all, but these are the shadows. They're all very warm toned. This is a beautiful palette for the fall, and this is called the Sephora Pro Pigment Palette Warms. Well, the warm palette, I guess. And yeah, it's just a very warm palette, great for the fall. Yeah, great for the fall. Stunning shades, but this one does have that kick up. And I like just reading online and researching. Sephora themselves said that like this isn't your regular palette, this is like a pro palette, like for I guess professionals or whatever. So they are more advanced with this type of formulation, but for me, I can still use it. I'll still use it. I love it. So yeah, and all the shade names are on this thingy, so that's the only reason why I keep this. But yeah, so yeah, those were all my eyeshadow palettes. I did get rid of a lot of my palettes from the past, like all my Morphe, like 350, all of those type in those plastic containers. All of those are gone. All of my ABH palettes are gone, aside from the AMREZY and the AINA palettes. Even through the ones I have right now, I still do plan on getting rid of some of them, even though I do really like the palettes or the formulation or the shades. If I'm not really reaching for it, I don't really need it. Nobody really needs this many palettes. So my goal is to like declutter them down to like maybe my top 10 to 15. I'm gonna say 15. I don't know how many I have altogether. I should have counted. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what are some of your favorite eyeshadow palettes. What are some eyeshadow palettes you think that I should test out? And maybe let me know which ones you think I should get rid of. So yeah, anyway, thank y'all so much for watching this video, and I will catch y'all next time. Bye.